Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back and happy almost new year to all the Aquariuses out there. If you are an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or North Node, this is your tarot reading for the upcoming month of January of 2025. And in case any of you are interested, I will be using my brand new Grateful Dead tarot deck, which I have just fallen in love with since I first opened it, and I hope you guys will as well. So, with all of that said, let's see what Aquarius has in store for the new year. Okay, so all of the cards fell out face down, which means this could be an energy that's almost hidden from you right now. Like you're unconsciously moving through it and you're not even aware of it. And a lot of this energy represents solitude, which is interesting. So we had the King of Cups and the King of Swords come out. And these, again, are two kings that really appreciate their solitude in a way. We had the Hermit, the Attic in this deck, Two of Swords, Ace of Cups reverse. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Swords. And under the seven, we also have the Eight of Cups as well. So all swords and cups energy here. And very masculine energy too. Interesting. I love the way this spread ended up laying out. Because right now, we've got the Eight and the King of Cups and the Two of Swords on this side. Got the King and the Seven of Swords and the Ace of Cups reversed on this side. And then we have the Hermit in the middle. And what this is essentially laying out here, you have been trying to find the balance between your head and your heart for a long time. And you thought that going within would help amplify that balance in a way that you can like logically see it. But especially with the heart, it's not an energy you can see. It's an energy you have to feel into to really trust. To really trust. But your mind has been deceiving you. Your mind has been holding like a bigger weight. So while you desperately want to connect with the heart and use your heart to make the decision and use your heart to bring you back home to yourself and out of, you know. And what's interesting is this energy isn't something that's like very taxing. This has been more of like a side quest for you where you made the choice. You maybe something set it off and you were like, you know what, I gotta figure this out. It's like there's something inside of me that wants to be recognized and I'm not sure how to recognize it right now. So that's when you separated yourself, went into solitude, went into hermit mode. And while there was wisdom that you did find in this hermit mode, there was also deception and mind games. And so what's interesting is, again, nothing was really wrong with where you were. You just felt like you were called to do this thing, to go within and figure out what's going on. And because of that, as you slowly work away at it, you are essentially bringing yourself to a more balanced, a more level, like a higher ground to move from once you come out of this hermit mode. But you're still in it. You are still in it because you're trying to work through the deception and why there is a mental deception here, why your mind is playing these tricks on you. And as you continue to allow, and that's it's not really an allowance. As the mind continues to do this on the unconscious level until you recognize the deception that's coming through, you are preventing your heart from taking that step forward to coming into like a new beginning that will allow that emotional fulfillment to come to you. And so while you're trying to balance these This logic with what you're feeling. You're too logic heavy. You're too masculine. You're too much in your masculine to even acknowledge what the heart is trying to say. So that might be your first lesson here is while you're still in hermit mode, while you're still moving through this solitude, learn how to tap more into that feminine energy. Learn how to be receptive. Stop trying to be so productive in your hermit mode. And maybe all you have to do is just sit and be and let things come to you rather than trying to seek out the answers within yourself. It's like this is like a weird example. So I don't know why this is what came to mind first, but it's like, when you get those pimples that are like under the skin and there's this like this demon on your shoulder that's like, just pick it, just pick it, just pick it. No, nobody else? Okay, cool. But like you literally like claw at your face, like trying to create a hole just to pop this thing. Luckily, I don't do this anymore, but this used to be a bad habit of mine, especially when I was younger. It got a lot of acne. But it's like you are trying to claw away at this thing and like force things to the front and force like whatever's like all the gunk to pop out. Where if you would have just left it alone, well, and after you do that too, it's like sure you got whatever it was out, but now there's scarring, it's bleeding, it's like it's chaotic now. Where if you would have just left it alone and not tried to force or do anything, it would have taken care of itself in a couple days because you're giving it the space to heal. And that is kind of what the energy is here right now. It's yes, you went into hermit mode because you wanted to sort through and find the balance between, but you're trying too hard. You're trying too hard. And you need to just sit and be with it because the heart is yearning to be felt, not heard. The heart doesn't need to be heard. The heart needs to be felt. Your emotions, oh, excuse me, my nose is itchy. Your emotions need to be felt in order to be moved through. They can't be logically thought out. And Aquarius, as an air sign, as a masculine air sign, you guys already have like the tendency to intellectualize your feelings. And I think that's what brought you to this place. I think you recognized at one point that intellectualizing no longer works, so you're trying to learn how to feel through them. But again, you're trying. That's what it keeps coming back to. You're trying too hard. You're doing too much where you just need to sit and be. Sit and allow the space, make the space for your heart to feel. And don't run away from those uncomfortable feelings that come up. Really just sit with them and cry if you need to cry, rage if you need to rage, scream if you need to scream, cower if you need to whatever emotion comes up, allow it and feel it. Actually feel it without getting your mind involved. And the second you start to actually feel in your body what needs to be felt in your body, that's when the mental deception stops. And I think that's where that deception comes in. It's you are still deceiving yourself thinking that you can or thinking that you can think through your feelings rather than feel them. And once you learn, people run away from their feelings because they don't like feeling these big things within them. But the brilliant part about emotions is I don't know the exact number, but when you're feeling through what needs to be felt through, the actual emotion, the actual feeling only lasts like 47 seconds or something along those lines. It's been scientifically proven. And anything after that is just your mind still raging. Even like, and this is the truth for 0-year olds and 99-year olds and beyond. It's the truth for every human alive. And that's why when like you'll see videos of toddlers that they might not get their way, so they'll start like thrashing and screaming and blah, 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 and it lasts however long it lasts. And then they'll see something that they'll want to do and they're like, oh, like nothing happened because they got those big feelings out of them. People run away from something that doesn't even take a whole minute to be released. It's just allowing the discomfort, allowing the space for the discomfort to be released. And I think that's what you have to do right now. 11:11 on the timer as I say that. Whew. Oh, Aquarius. Oh my goodness. This is a good reading. Let's see what else wants to come out. There's a yellow butterfly flying around outside. I don't know if that means anything to anyone, but So we had the Queen of Pentacles reverse and the Page of Wands reverse, which is interesting because these are the two suits that we haven't seen yet. And the Queen of Swords was the first one to come out. And immediately this gave me Capricorn energy, which is, um, why am I blanking on the word? Feminine, water sign. So two very receptive energies to Capricorn. It's possible a Capricorn might be able to help you through this. You know, you're both Saturnian. They can bring that Saturnian feminine balance to your Saturnian masculine nature to help you be able to move through this. But ultimately, you are going to be the one that has to do the work. So don't rely too heavily one way or the other. But going beyond Capricorn, this is also telling me that if you learn how to tap into this feminine archetype, this ability to receive, Pentacles is all about your physical abundance. It's about monetary value. It's about your space and community. You can open yourself to new opportunity by tapping into this feminine, but she still feels blocked within you. Even as we're speaking, she still feels blocked within you. So, and not only that, it's the ability for your intuition to bring you messages that can help you actually look out for new experiences is also still blocked. And so what I love about reversals is the upright energy is still within you. It's just rather than it being just readily available, it's like you have to get around this roadblock in order to access that upright energy. And so, however you need to tap into this divine feminine, again, you could actually have a Capricorn in your life that wants to help you through this, or that you can reach out to help open your perspective a little bit more. And I say Capricorn again because they are Saturnian as well, so you guys have similar awarenesses of life and how it operates with Saturnian energy, but it's a different sides of the spectrum. So they can help open your perspective to ways and techniques you can use to help tap into that side of yourself and help you open. And again, it's all about making the space, especially with the Page of Wands reverse. All pages are messengers. Wands is about experience and livelihood and your intuition and just blindly trusting the path that you're on. So you need to make the space for this energy to come through. And the only way to make space is to open yourself up to be receptive in your solitude. Well, that doesn't even have to be in your solitude, but I looked at the Hermit as I said that, which is why solitude came back up. But and maybe you'll want to still move through it in your solitude because Aquariuses, you guys can also be proud people. You can be very proud. So you might want to do this alone just to prove to yourself that you can. Not that you have to. Not that you have to. You do have the choice there. But essentially, like these energies are available to you, but it's about getting around the roadblock that is your mind. And it is your more like gung ho, forceful, masculine side of yourself that wants to do, that wants to try. That's the whole lesson here is you're trying too hard. You're doing too much. Take that step back and allow yourself to receive. Hmm. This is interesting. So the moon was upright, but then as I had to pick up that card off the floor, it went reversed. And all of these other cards are also reversed as well. And the moon came out face down. So it's an energy that's not like consciously that you're not consciously aware of. Which is ironic because that's what the moon represents too. But we also had the journey, which is the chariot reversed, the page of swords reverse. Interesting because the chariot's Cancer energy, which is feminine water, another swords reverse. This wants to be said. Aquarius, you're your own worst enemy right now. You're your own worst enemy right now. And it comes back to the mind. Your mind is trying to do too much to intellectualize what cannot be intellectualized, to think through what needs to be felt through. That's why you're not seeing the progress. That's why despite your best efforts, you're not moving. You're not making the progress you want to make. You're not making the space to obtain the mental messages that want to come through. You may even have like claircognizance that wants to come through. which works with the intuition to deliver messages and knowings to the mind. But because the mind is not, there's no space for these messages to come through, for this wisdom to come through. And when the moon is reversed, let me pick it back up. When the moon is reversed, which is so interesting, the moon reverse is you're letting your unconscious have too much power. So it's like, while your conscious mind, that's why it's an interesting dynamic. And that's what it is. You think your conscious mind has all the power, but essentially these are just unconscious vices forcing you to intellectualize rather than feel through. And I think this has to do with something that you went through in your past, which is preventing you. It's putting up that block from actually feeling. And it might be very, very big feelings that you actually never sorted through from your early childhood or your teenage years or your 20, whatever it may be. There are big feelings trapped inside of you that you could not sort through at the time that they arrived, essentially, at whenever this happened. And these big feelings were pushed so far down, which ended up almost like inflate, like I'm picturing like a very specific balloon, the balloon Dr. Doofenshmirtz had with the face. I don't know why I'm picturing that one, but I'm picturing it like that balloon as the head getting bigger and bigger and bigger as like the farther down you push these feelings. And so you made it an unconscious habit, an unconscious vice to try to think through your feelings because it's worked for you in your past, but it's because it only worked in the past because you had not up until this point dealt with big feelings in that same manner, feelings as large as those ones that you had to sort through before. And because of that, it was easy to just be like, oh, this is why I'm feeling this way. So I just don't have to feel that way anymore because nothing has been that big. But every time you have tried to intellectualize what you were feeling, it was still just like another marble in the jar, or if you picture like an hourglass, another grain of sand. For all of those small feelings you tried to intellectualize, it was one grain of sand. But for all of the bigger feelings that you intellectualized and pushed down even further, it was like tens and 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, etc. So the reason you were called to go into hermit mode, to go within yourself, to kind of sort through what was going on, is because you unconsciously recognize, like, wow, if we're using the hourglass example again, wow, I'm running really low on sand at the top of the glass. I got to sort through my stuff before the sand runs out, and then I don't know what happens after that. And what's ironic with this example is the more you let the sand release, the more space you have in the top, but also no resources to sort through that. And I think that's kind of what it is. That's kind of what it is. For some of you, it might do you very, very well to look into therapy, not just talk therapy, because I feel that can be a catalyst for intellectualization for some people. Some people it works great, and if that is the case, definitely dive into that. There are other forms of therapy as well. Other forms of therapy, somatic, where you're like more in the body. There art therapy as well that can help get your unconscious out so you can see what is going on within and then maybe be able to feel in response to that. But ultimately, you don't have to do this alone. And I think your desire to do it alone is part of what's keeping you stuck in this cycle, part of what's preventing you from actually opening up those roadblocks and tapping into your divine feminine to receive, to get these messages, to feel through what needs to be felt through. It's there comes a point where your solitude is unresourceful and you need to be honest with yourself about when that is. If it already happened, then let's start making moves. If you're getting nearer, start to think about making moves. But essentially, again, like this upright energy, this feminine energy, the energy, even because we had the ace, the terrapin of cups, the energy of new beginnings is available to you. The upright energy is always available to you, but it's going to take a little bit more work to get there. And your mind has just had so much control for so long that it doesn't know how to be in the passenger seat. It doesn't know how to let the body feel what needs to be felt because it is afraid of those big emotions. So how can you teach your mind to not fear these big emotions? It's going to be different for everyone, and that's what this exploration is. That's what your intention was as you went into hermit mode. And for some of you, you will be able to sort this through on your own. For others, you may need additional help. So don't Don't prevent yourself from getting help because your pride tells you you have to do it by yourself. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that was the buzzer. That was a fire alarm for a second. But anyway, with all of that said, of course, this was a general reading, Aquarius, so it's possible not all of this resonated. If that is the case, you can check out my website linked in the description below, and there you can book with me for tarot, astrology, human design, and numerology is coming in the new year. So keep a lookout for that. If you did like this reading at all, leave me a like and leave me a comment and let me know how it resonated. And of course, we do this every single month for all of the signs. So if you're interested in getting your forecast for the month ahead according to the tarot cards, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you guys here in the future. And Aquarius, again, there's not much else that can be said. It's just remember, you don't have to do this alone. Learn how to make space within yourself, within your mind, within your body, within your spirit. Learn how to be receptive to the messages and the wisdom that want to come to you rather than feeling like you have to do and try and do and try and do and try and do and try. Because you don't. You really don't. Now is the time to receive and make the space and feel what needs to be felt. And once you learn how to do that, you're opening yourself up to new avenues for emotional fulfillment and connection and receptivity. I believe in you guys.